Okay, so Million Stars. We started, so my name's Julianne Parker. I'm the founder of Million Stars. We started 3 years ago. And prior to that, I'd worked in social housing for several years, 10 years or more, right across the city region, and I led on environmental initiatives. So these were initiatives that received national recognition for what they did. So we delivered the Eco Team programme, which was in partnership with Global Action Plan, and that was a community and school initiative where we went in and we did, this is, you know, at a time when it was quite difficult to do it as well. We taught people how, you know, about energy usage and water consumption and everything, and plastic consumption and things, and this was, you know, 7 years ago. So I've always had a passion for the environment, sustainability. Also led a beekeeping project, which was to train 40 unemployed people to become beekeepers. And we taught them enterprise skills and business as well. Most of whom are now commercial beekeepers. One's got 70 beehives right across the city region. So that has been that's using the environment as a vehicle for positive change, and it's been a real life-changing thing for these people. So I wanted to set up a social enterprise that used the environment as a vehicle for tackling social need. I saw over, you know, loads of projects over several years, the difference it could make. So we set up Million Stars. Initially we started as a camping business, so it was about getting families offline, having a tech detox, and taking families to urban pop-up camping locations across the city region, some of our hidden gems. So usually associate camping with travelling up to Lake District or Wales. We were doing it in city parks, or urban farms, or just local green space, and actually showing people that you can have the same experience as you do in a more rural location on our doorstep. So that's how it started. As a bootstrapping business, we couldn't meet demand. We had that many families. We provided all the tents, all the equipment. I thought, how do we get more tents? We'll go to a festival. So that's what we did. So you might have seen one of the biggest festivals closest to us is Greenfields, and they typically have 60,000 tents abandoned at the end of the festival every year. And this is a system that hasn't changed for years. So that's 23,500 tonnes of waste just from the UK music festivals in the UK every year. That's the equivalent of 53 Boeing 747s, 16,000 Ford Fiestas, or 340,000 washing machines going to landfill every year. This has been going on for years. So I was at Greenfields. We were collecting some tents, small team of volunteers, and stood next to this man-made mountain, and literally it was a mountain. And I thought, oh, we've got to do something about this. So for the last 2 years, we've changed our whole business to tackle this issue. So we've worked with John Moores University and the University of Liverpool to develop preventative measures to prevent the festival waste from occurring in the first place. That's about education. We've designed an eco-tent to prevent this culture of buying £20 tents from Home and Bargain, using it once for a couple of nights and leaving it behind. You know, it's all about the circular economy. We've also found solutions to use that waste. So it's not going to happen overnight. We've got a 5-year plan to start reducing the waste year on year. But in the meantime, we're taking that waste, so your camping chairs, your airbeds, your tents, and as I say, it's about 60,000 left behind at every festival. We take that, it goes to UK prisons where the men engage in purposeful work-related activity by either repurposing the equipment for reuse, so we hire it back to festival goers to help prevent that waste, or we upcycle it into eco-fashion collection. So that's a collection that's being made at the moment out of tents, and it's bags, jackets, ponchos, and we are developing that range constantly to expand into different products as well for next year. That's festivals, that's what we're probably best known for. We are now starting to look at other plastic problems across the UK and indeed Europe. So I lived in Spain for a year, many moons ago when I was younger, and one of the things we found living in Spain is people left lilos behind at the end of the holiday. So the kids would all have their own lilos, you know, pop-up unicorn or whatever, shark, and it would all be left behind when they return after the holidays around the pool. So that was a big problem. We know what happens in the UK. We've got a big hen party scene in Liverpool, so a lot of inflatable dolls. Don't know what they do with these dolls, but they get left behind in hotels. So that's our next project is to start looking at inflatable waste across the UK and in Europe, to start identifying different uses for that waste. So it's not necessarily just making it into bags and stuff, which still has quite a short shelf life. It's also looking at, is there ways, similar to Arthur, of taking that waste and, you know, developing new products that can be then go back into the industry and be reused. So it's increasing the longevity of that material, secondary use material. So that's a little bit about what we do. We've got a vision to create an eco-fashion hub, the first in the Northwest, and that's about, very similar to Emily, we want zero waste, so we really want to get that message out there. We want all our products to really showcase different ethical, sustainable and eco-friendly fashion, and also food and things as well. And we want that, as I say, ideally in Liverpool, so that's what we're working. We're talking to Andy Burnham and Steve Rodham about making that happen, and all the education that comes along with that as well. So that's a little bit about us. We're working with prisons. We want to employ ex-offenders when they are released. They've been working on our products for 1 to 2 years, and we want to be able to offer them opportunities. And a lot of the prisoners, even though the prisons that we're working with are in Staffordshire, Nottingham, over 50% of the prisoners actually have a local connection to Liverpool as well, strangely. So I went in there today and all I can hear is scousers everywhere, just it's a bit random. But you're in the middle of nowhere, but yeah. So that's a little bit about us. One of our directors, I think a few people in the room will know Stephen Sykes. He also chairs Merseyside Environmental Trust, and he's a founder of the 2030 Hub around the corner, and there's myself as well. And we've got a small team, mostly volunteers, that work with us at the moment, who design our eco-fashion collection, who come to the festivals and help us recover waste. We are scaling up next year, so we are including plastic bottles in our recovery operation, and we are doing 7 festivals next summer, so talking about potentially 60,000 tents at every festival, so we are really scaling up. So if you want to be involved in that, please.
I first heard about this. It was at the Knowsley Flower Show.
Oh, yes.
Were you there?
I was, yes.
That's right. Well, I saw your stall there.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I recognise you as well.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about prisons. How about Walton? Are you working?
We've tried. So, unfortunately, after 3 years, we've really tried to establish ourselves in Liverpool. We now do most of our work in Manchester. We're working in prisons in, as I say, Staffordshire, even in Kirkham, up in Preston, and we find it very difficult to engage locally. And I think that's because not everybody gets it. You know, you go out of Liverpool and everyone understands zero waste, and
but you had no success in Walton.
and we've had no success in Walton. I think they've got issues at the moment where they're looking at focusing on day-to-day operations rather than bringing anything else in at the moment at Walton. But the other thing is sustainable events. So it's not just about, you said we were a CIC, we've also launched a sustainable event company, and our mission is to see all events across the UK have zero waste outputs in the next 5 years. I go to lots of conferences and things, and the amount of lanyards I've got, you know, hanging up behind my door, and I'm keeping them because I'm going to make a jacket or something out of them when I get home. But yeah, so lanyards, and you know, you get a lot of disposable gifts and things at conferences. So we're trying to change that culture in all events, even charity events and conferences as well, so it's not just about festivals. So my ask really is to get the word out there and let people know what we're doing, even smaller community events. Some of the chairs that we've recovered at the festivals, again, would have gone to landfill, and we have cleaned them up, the prisoners have, rebranded them, and we're going to hire them back out for events and things, so getting them back out there and reusing them. The same as any other chair that you can find. They've got a drink holder, so they're even, I think, more luxurious, they're more comfortable, and we've got them available to hire. And it's also getting the messages out there as well, so it's a starting point for that conversation with people. Oh, why have we got camping chairs? Why? And then we can tell them a little bit about why and what we do. So if you can let people know. Website's really out of date. I think it's still got our old name, Bang the Drum, for the environment. We still bang the drum, but we are now known as Million Stars. But we are on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. So if you're on those platforms, please do get in touch with us. And it's Million Stars across all of them. Does that make sense? Do you know if I had a presentation, a PowerPoint, George? Honestly, the pictures are brilliant, and that would I just would have put the pictures of the festival waste there and just not said anything, and you always would have been off. That's brilliant. But yeah. So, any questions? Does that make sense? It's been a long day. I've been up since 5, so I might just be waffling.
And where can we buy the clothes? And are they affordable or are they luxury?
Yeah, they are. We initially wanted to do a luxury range, and that was the idea. And when we've recovered the materials, these are materials. So the tents, take off the poles and everything else. We see it as fabric. It is cleaned. However, it's not perfect fabric. So the reality is every piece is bespoke, every bag is bespoke, every single part. So we take fly sheets, we'll take the holes off the fly sheets and put them onto the bags and stuff. We reuse everything. So those who get it and understand will think it's fantastic. But for a commercial point of view, competing with High Street, it's not that type of project. You've got to understand the story and the history behind it to appreciate it. So they are affordable.
Some campsite owners asked me how they could get their tents that are left after the weekend camping to you. Is there an easy way of doing that, or is there a possible way of doing that? Please
tell them to get in touch. Funnily enough, we do have our own camping club as well. So one of the other things is we do pop-up camping for events. You said about the Nosy Flower Show. We're talking to them at the moment about having a pop-up campsite in Courtay Park for next year. So we're keeping people outdoors for the whole weekend rather than just coming for the one-day event.
On both days, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. So you can camp next year. But that's one of the things. We go around to all the campsites and we do recover tents.
I'm sure if when people are going to these festivals, they're loaded down with stuff. I'm sure if they knew, well, we need to take chairs because we can hire them there. That would be a big benefit to everybody, wouldn't it?
That's part of the 5-year plan. So every year we're going to recover and increase it. This year we've had less than 10 volunteers, so we can only do as much as we can do with small teams. Next year we're partnering with Suez, massive international company. So we'll be able to scale that up considerably. The 5-year plan is every year we're going to go back and hire as the more we get. So we'll offer, a pilot next year, then the year after it will be bigger. And eventually we want to say it so in 5 years' time there isn't an option to take your own stuff. Everything is there to hire culture. And we're removing that, leave, abandon your stuff, because until manufacturers start, increasing the value of tents. You can buy a tent for 20 or 15 quid. People don't value that, if you look at the circular economy, that's not going to change overnight. So this way, it's a 5-year plan.
long-term thing.
Yeah, and it's about educating as well. Educate people as well.
Have you found a use for the poles yet on the ones that aren't repurposed?
Struggling. So some of them go back to the manufacturers. So it's still going back into the supply chain. We've done little testers like working in allotments, so using them as stakes and things.
I was wondering whether they could be used to make fruit cages
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
to, you know,
yeah.
if you could make a connector, maybe a plastic laser cut. No, whether they could be used like instead of
I've got
bamboo.
an allotment in my garden, and I
Yeah.
have piloted, tried it this year. It does get rusty, so, and I'm not sure if the rust affects the soil or anything, so probably someone a bit more expertise than me growing tomatoes and stuff in my garden, but that's a concern, but certainly an option.
There is a company called tentspares.co.uk
Yeah,
that sells replacement tent poles.
yeah,
So there might be a market for them. And one of the reasons, apart from festivals, one of the reasons I've seen on ordinary campsites,
Yeah.
people chuck their tent because the poles are broken and it's
Yeah.
collapsed.
yeah,
And if more people knew that they could replace the poles when a section breaks,
yeah,
then they might keep the tent
yeah,
and just get a new pole.
yeah. Ketchra, is it Ketchra? I don't know, I never know how you say it. Decathlon. So the newest one is in Asda, in Highton, I think, to Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
Spanish company. Everything that they manufacture, they have replacements for. And I really like that as a company. So if you get any of their tents or any of their equipment, you can always replace it.
Yeah, it's a good
Very few organisations do that.
Well, also a lot of people might not know that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people might think a
yeah,
tent is something that you buy and
Yeah.
then when it rains or something breaks or the event's over, you
Yeah.
check it. They might not know a tent is a thing you keep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And reuse.
And then they do break. They do break quite easily. I'm badgering James Timpson at the moment. So for those who don't know, Timpson's cobbler, business by tradition, all over the UK, in 2,400 shops. And I'm absolutely on his case at the moment to introduce tent repair scheme in his shops. So there's a way of just basic repairs and to really people start reusing the tents because they can be repaired if you know what you're doing. You know, so it's just about getting those messages across and if we can introduce
great
that.
thing
Can I just suggest, if you've got a website or anything for that company, could you
I know
put
them,
that up?
yeah. I mean, I'm in touch with
All
them.
right, you're
Yeah,
okay.
I was just going to say very, very briefly, the great thing about the Timpson company, they make it a policy to employ a certain number of ex-prisoners,
Yeah.
and they've always done that. I don't know if anybody is aware of
It's
that.
not just
Yeah.
ex-offenders. James knows him quite well. He's been really supportive of our
They've done that
business.
for a long number of years.
Young people of disadvantage.
Yeah.
And so they're a really good company if you're not aware of them. Ethical company.
Could you just repeat the statistics that you said before? You know, like the Boeing 747?
Yeah.
You said it really fast.
So I do. I'm from Highton, so so 23,500 tonnes of waste is generated at UK music festivals. That's a figure that comes from a report by Julie's Bicycle, which are a social enterprise in London. It was funded by Innovate UK. It's about 2 years old now, but that's where those figures come from. And we've just basically done a calculation breaking that down. So what that means is it's 53 Boeing 747s, 16,000 Ford Fiestas or 340,000 washing machines. That's the equivalent to the festival waste generated. So it's a massive problem, and apart from a bit of publicity over the summer about what, you know, it's not really acknowledged, and it's a system that hasn't changed for 30 years of festivals. So that's why we're trying to,
festivals, isn't it?
yeah, and it's a growing industry, so it's trying to nip it in the bud now and make people accountable if we can.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, they have flip-flops, they're all plastic, they have the umbrellas,
Umbrellas,
plastic, and, you know, it's just...
Oh, I could tell you, if we're going to go into the stuff that you find, there's chaps that go around, I don't know if it's backhanders or what, they go around and they do slits in the tents so they can just very quickly look in at the end. This is an hour after the end of the festival, and it's 48 hours, by the way, from the end of the festival to being at landfill. So that's the window of opportunity, 48 hours, and it's all in landfill. But anyway, some of the stuff, you have electricals, brand new iPhones, just great clothing. Now, so you mentioned about homelessness. A part of my early career, I spent 15 years working in a homeless hostel. So I'm very passionate about homelessness, as well as the environment. And when you think about, you know, families struggling in our communities in this country, and there's food, there's clothing, there's electronics, there's absolutely, you wouldn't believe it, the amount of stuff that just gets left
Is
behind.
this just left behind?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it-
It's amazing. But
I can't believe this.
like £150 trainers, and I don't know if it's drugs or whatever reason, people just leave everything. Like things of value, they just leave everything, and I'm crazy. So we did the year before, we took a lot of the alcohol, we took that to a local camping club, not for profit, like community club, and they sold it on a camping kind of social and donated the money to Whitechapel at our insistence. We chose the charity, and they sold the money, sold the drinks, and raised money for Whitechapel. We've done toiletries to YMCA, so we've recovered all the toiletries and clothing, and that went to the YMCA on Leach Street. So it's not just about that. We go for the tents, and we've got a small team, so we have to prioritise, but there is a massive opportunity. I'm going to tell you another very quick story. Talk about food waste. At the end of the festival, I saw these big HGV chiller wagons, and they literally pull the pallets off, drop the pallets, lifted the pallets off, and put them in a skip. And this was a chiller van of frozen food. Big long wagon, thousands of meals that could have gone to,
I heard about that on the radio, and the argument for it was that perhaps it was, they had to be careful in case it made somebody ill, it may have been past its...
This was frozen food. It was for the staff, sorry, it was food for the production staff, the security at the festival.
But the idea was it might have made somebody ill and we would have got sued.
Yeah. Always excuses, but yeah. I could go on all day.
Yeah,
But
that was the argument given.
perhaps we should close this now, and you can have a chat more informally. But just thank you very much.
Thank you.